everybody. Chris J from Bluecoat Foundation here. Today's podcast is an old recording of Team-4 from the very first Project Endure we did back in 2016. And we initially started interviewing each team so that we could make a documentary of the whole thing, which we eventually are going to do. But I pulled this one out of the files here because it's very telling of what emotions the team went through, what emotions the runners went through. And if you don't know, Project Endure, the very first one, we had two officers run from Los Angeles to Sacramento in full uniform. A lot of support along the way, and it was a lot harder than we anticipated. So hopefully this interview gives you a glimpse of what it was. And yeah, hope you enjoy. Thanks. So I guess the simple question is, how'd you hear about Project Endure?
You?
Got ambushed by Chris at the station.
I actually heard about it through Heidi Pepper. She hit me up and let me know that Joe was doing, he was one of my I guess he was my second training officer. So I heard him, he was doing it. There's no way you can't help support Joe. I mean, that's how I found out.
Same here. A couple guys from Batch 4 let me know that help was needed. More bodies were needed to help out, and I heard Joe was doing it. And like Dave, I also worked with Joe for a while and had to be there.
I got an email. I think you sent out the email talking about the race.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really cool, and I also worked with Joe. He was on our watch before. When I first got to Olympic, I worked with him, and he had talked about a similar race before with me that he wanted to do across the country, which is even crazier. So when I got the email, I wasn't even surprised. And then Christina, she's done all her races with the marathon in full uniform, so it wasn't surprising. And just when I heard about it, I wanted to help out. And Marissa here, she's on the watch. She told me about it. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna do it." So I was like, "Oh, do you know if they need more help?" Because I missed the meeting. So once she told me she was doing it, that's when I asked you if you needed more help and if we could be on the same team.
Yeah, remember that. You want her to be on her team no matter what.
Yeah.
How'd you hear about it, Marissa? You can pantomime it if you want.
You emailed me.
Cool. So when you got the email, what made you want to do it? What made you want to say, I want to do that?
Just Joe. I'll be there for Joe.
Yeah. This whole thing started with Joe, I think it's good that Christina joined later to see how their health was at the end, and and he actually was inspired by her to run the marathons. It all kind of made sense at the end. I think a lot of people were really loyal to Joe, but with her coming in, it was a good thing. I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah, definitely. It would have been very, very hard for one person. I mean, it's incredibly hard for two people. But I don't know how anybody could have done it by themselves. I'm sure, knowing Joe, he'll probably try to do something like that by himself. The guy's amazing, but yeah, they played off each other well, and they fed off each other. It was a great team. It's a good partnership.
Cool. Because I want to talk a little about, so compare what you first envisioned it would be compared to when you were out there and what it actually was. Because I know you and I were. So whoever wants to take on that one.
That's a good question. I know I am.
So initially, just the way you explained it at first with the RV, and we could only have a certain amount of people. I know I asked you at first, "Hey, can my roommate join in?" And you're like, "No, there's only a certain amount of people that can be there because the RV sleep a certain amount of people. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So, and after you had us do all the research, you made it. Well, we were supposed to be in the middle of nowhere, the initial route that we were supposed to take. And once we started doing the research, we realized, oh my goodness, like there's no gas stations nearby. The closest emergency hospital is like 40 miles away, or it sounded kind of scary at first, the way it was supposed to happen. And we did think that we were going to be in the middle of nowhere with little to no support, since we didn't ask for escorts. So, it sounded maybe a little scary at first, just, being in the middle of nowhere at night, and we don't know the area, we don't have any escorts and stuff, but that's the way I envisioned it. So it was crazy after we got there to see all the support from all the different agencies that wanted to be a part of it. Our phones blowing up, people wanted to join in on it. It was amazing because it was nothing like we envisioned it. Well, like I envisioned it. Can't speak for you.
Anybody else, like what you thought it was going to be compared to the hell you got yourself into when you were out there?
I had no idea what it was going to be like, honestly. I don't think there's a way to really describe it, how it was when you get out there. It was awesome. It was really cool just watching Joe, watching Christine, and watching the communities in the other departments. The support of the other departments was amazing. Like it was awesome. They were so supportive, welcoming, and I mean we went through a number of small towns, and I grew up in Kentucky, and it reminded me a lot of where I grew up and how people treated us, treated Joe, treated Christine. It was awesome.
You always try to think ahead about what kind of things could come up, and you think you have a plan for things that may come up. And of course, once you're there, it's real, and you gotta make things up along the way. But like they were saying, the people that came out and helped made everything so much easier. So much easier. Just the route itself.
Cool. So what was the lowest point of your 2-day adventure? The lowest point?
Saturday night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got there on a Friday night, and we left on Sunday night. So when we got there, they were getting ready to go to sleep, and the last team briefed us on, everything that was going on and what we should do and what they ate every day, and, just everything that had been going on. And this is coming from the previous team, not from the runners. So we haven't even talked to the runners about this yet. So the next day, it was great. The support was great. Merced is telling us what we're going to, because they already know. So they're like, hey, we're going to escort you to the point where they left off. And, this canine handler is going to run with you guys. And it was just great, all the people that were involved. But, as the day started going on, mind you, this is what, their 7th day running?
7th day.
Yeah, this was their 7th day running. So you got to think about yourself. For example, like when I run even, say, 3 miles, I'm like, nobody talk to me. I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to focus on running. So you have to keep in mind that they've been running for 7 days straight. They're sleeping in a RV or trailer, hotel room, whatever.
Fire station, I think.
Yeah, fire station, cold. You've already been through a lot. They went through that traffic accident, just a bunch of stuff, a bunch of hiccups along the way. Not to mention their bodies are just tired and sore. They're not eating like they would normally eat. So their nutrition is not the greatest. Mentally, they were just exhausted. So, like I said, the support was great, but at some point, I know everyone wanted to talk to them and, take pictures with them and all that stuff. And they really appreciated it. But you have to keep in mind that after 7 days of, posing for pictures and, running and being interviewed while they're running, it's exhausting. So, you know, they were exhausted. So this Saturday, we talked to them, and they were just a little. I don't even know the word to describe it. You guys can help me out. They're just mentally
They were low.
exhausted.
Yeah, they were
That was the
low.
lowest point.
They hit the wall right there. We talked about what we needed, what they needed, and they broke through the wall.
How did it feel to see your friend, somebody you know, going through pain?
I started crying. I couldn't help it.
What
It's
happened?
tough.
What happened? Well, why'd you cry? What did you see that made you cry?
Just them being, you know, they're trying to get to their destination. They're trying to do this.
I think the hard part was, at least for me, was with Joe, because he wants to shake everybody's hand. You know, he wants to, you know, to do every single thing. And I think he finally hit that point where he realized he can't. He just needs to put that one foot in front of the other. And I think that was the hard part, is you know, him realizing that, you know what, I've just got to go. I got to do this. I can't make all these stops. I can't. And he does. I mean, he's just got such a big heart. He wants to. And then him realizing, nope, I just got to put one foot in front of the other.
Did anybody cry?
I did.
Marissa, did you cry?
Felt like crying.
You felt like crying? What was it that made you feel like crying? Like other people?
Just the frustration of it all. It's like you want to help. You see your friend in pain, and there's not a lot you can do about it. I mean, it was frustrating for me, but then it's like you can imagine what they're going through, you know, like, yeah, it was just really frustrating. But
Did you cry, Danny? Did you really?
Like a camera. He shot all over the place.
I'm only in the bathroom by myself.
That's normal, though, right?
That's every night, though. It's not about the run.
What about did Joe or Christina ever yell at you guys?
No comment.
never.
You know what? It's like I said. They were at a low point, and I don't think they yelled at us.
No, I agree.
They weren't mad at us. They weren't mad at anyone. They just wanted to get there.
The only way they knew how to communicate at the moment. You know, they didn't. I don't think they ever yelled at us.
No, they didn't yell at us. There was some, you know, that day. I think, like I said, Saturday was the toughest day. I think everyone can agree, because Sunday we did make some changes. It was just hard. We did appreciate everyone supporting us and stuff. It was crazy. Just people were running up to us and handing us like challenge coins and patches and stuff, like, give this to Christina and Joe, or, you know, they would try to run up to them. But like he said, it was hard because we were watching on Saturday. That's because we hadn't been there all week, so we didn't know what it was like until we saw them. You see all these people that know where we're at, and they're running and clapping, and they have signs, and they want to take pictures and stuff. And, you know, both Joe and Christina, they're nice people. They want to meet everyone. So they're zigzagging, you know, to shake hands and like give high fives. And that's probably what caused Joe to cramp up so much, because he's not running in a straight line. And it's the 7th day, and he needs, you know.
And the start and stopping. Yeah, that's definitely what helped. I mean, it led to the cramping.
Yeah, so at some point, although we appreciated everyone, we had to just tell him, hey, you can't do that anymore. It's day 7. Tomorrow you need to just run straight. You can wave if you want, but you can't be doing all these stops, because you're not going to get there. So,
what about some jovial highlights? Like Joe was telling me by the end, like, you're in a quiet trailer, you gotta go drop a dookie. And it's like, you don't care who's listening, and it's just like whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, they tried. I don't think anything was coming out. I think when they did come out, they were definitely bragging.
Was there anything, like, besides the shitting stories, was there anything else that kind of, you know, any little things that were kind of nice?
It was cool to see them get their runners high. I mean, you could definitely tell the low parts, but you could also tell when they hit that point, they were They were just goofy. Straight up goofy. I had never met Christina before, and she's got the worst, best sense of humor. She's hurting, and she's laughing and smiling through it, which it was just funny. I mean, both of them, they get loopy sometimes, and it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah. Interesting.
One of my favorite moments was when I forget what time we were in, but Joe hit the first sign that said Sacramento, and he stopped and pointed at it, and he had a big smile on his face because he knew I'm almost done with this thing.
Yeah. Nice. Did you cry?
I thought about it.
Another cool part was like, along the highways and stuff. Although we weren't directly on the highway, there was a memorial for a CHP officer that passed away in 2006. I want to say. So he stopped, fixed the memorial because stuff flies off. So he stopped and fixed it, and then he knelt and paid his respects and kept going. So he would stop for stuff like that. So that was really nice to see.
That was on the dirt path, like right between. Okay, yeah.
I think he left his Olympic pin.
He did.
He took off his pin from him.
Placed it on the memorial.
What officer was that? Do we know?
I posted a picture on my Instagram.
Yeah, check that out. And while you look at that, what do you guys think about? We obviously know what you think about, but how much more empowered do you feel about being part of this, knowing that the cause of this is not just money for fallen officers, which we're gonna give out, but just I don't know. I'm sure you guys saw a lot of people who lost family were just like out there, like this little run is everything. You have no clue, and that's what people were saying. So how did the cause really empower you or affect you personally, or just as a group, or anything? You know what I mean. So I guess the question is, how did the cause motivate you? Kind of deeper question there, but
Yeah, go ahead.
So Stanislaus County, they were amazing to us. They had just, when we started the race, they had just lost an officer, Deputy Wallace, like a couple of weeks prior to that. So they didn't even know we were going to go through their city or their county, because initially our route was different. So once they found out, I'm telling you, everyone wanted us to go through their city. There was people calling me like, "Is there any way you can detour?" But they were just so happy that we were there. They were so supportive. Aside from giving us escorts, some of the people that knew Deputy Wallace were there. We met Captain Gordon. He was great. He was so appreciative, and just everyone there. So it was just I can't even explain it.
It was
It was great to see that they really appreciated us, and that's when we saw what it was really all about. They had just lost someone, and they were just so happy that Joe and Christina were doing this. And actually, Deputy Wallace's widow got to meet with Joe and Christina, so that was really cool. I mean, they had a private moment in the trailer. We weren't in there, but she appreciated that they were there. We appreciated that they got to do that.
Yeah.
And they presented her with the plaque, and it was just great. That's when you really, see what it's all about, and it was good.
Yeah. It made me refocus a lot of things at home and in my life, definitely. Get home and kind of prioritize things. What's important, what's not important. I think it had more of an impact on myself than I expected it to. I kind of expected, okay, I'm going to go help out and do this run. I might run a couple miles with him. I end up running a little bit more. And just watching Joe and watching Christina go through what they did was awe-inspiring. I mean, just it was unreal. It was really cool. And what they did it for, even more so.
Nice. But you guys, like, did the cause bring anything out personally for you guys, or you like your turn?
Felt good to know that all your trouble wasn't for nothing, and that at the end of the day, there's going to be money going to families that lost somebody.
A lot of these things that go down are, you know, I'm trying to find the right words. In my short time, I've had fellow officers that I know that I've worked with pass away doing things that I do every day without thinking about it, because that's what we do. Recently here in LA County, I know we are used to seeing things on the news. You know, things happen to other people that we don't know, but when you know somebody that they happen to, when you see other people that you don't know but they're near you, it reminds you that this is serious business. And I also know Joe's personal story with his best friend from New York, you know, and it just reminds you that these things really do happen, and you can't forget about the people that have sacrificed and continue to do so.
That actually sends me to my next question. Does anybody here, you don't have to share if you don't want to, but does anybody here know somebody who died in the line of duty personally?
No.
Yeah.
I work with Officer Roberto Sanchez. I think we were on West LA. I can't say that we were best buds or anything, but just the fact that we worked together and I knew him for a couple of years, it hits you when something like that happens.
Interesting.
And again, just doing something that I do every day. You see a car speeding, you flip it to catch up to it, and that's it.
And like you guys, like, so we have people like Joe or Danny who do things because they know somebody. Like, I get inspired to do something. I mean, I knew Nick Lee. You're going to hear me say this again in Notes of Valor, too. Like, I knew Nick Lee is that close person I knew, and I haven't spoken to him in like 4 years, right? But so I don't really know anybody, a close friend who got killed in line of duty, but that's why I do it. Because I don't, you know, and I don't ever want to. I don't ever want one of you or me to, you know, so that's kind of what inspires me. But so, know somebody or not, I think it's, we're in a weird line of work, you know what I mean? Let me see. Okay, let me ask you this. So I was out here and I was going through a lot of personal things when you guys went out, and I was balancing that with the size of what Project Kindred grew to, and balancing that with fucking Nancy, why don't you answer my goddamn phone calls? So Shad and I, because Shad stepped in and helped me out with these over 300 calls, emails, text messages, etc. Because LAPD media relations thought it was going to be funny to give everybody my personal phone number.
Oh yeah, that happened to me too.
Yeah, so
Seriously?
so we you guys are Team-4. We call this the Team-4 mutiny, the blackout fucking mutiny. What the fuck was happening, dude?
I can start off with that.
Please do.
I'll talk about that. So, like we said, yeah, because it's going to take a while. So Friday, you know, it was all, you know, hey guys, this is going to happen. You know, give Joe his ibuprofen and his peanut butter sandwich or whatever, and everything's going to be okay. We're all out of luck, and we have to. So we get there, you know, Saturday. I mean, we go to sleep. Saturday morning, we wake up. We have all the support from Merced. They're like, hey, this is where we started off. We're going to escort you there. And then this guy's going to run with you. You know, Marissa and David started off running with him. So everything's all dandy. This is like, 6, 7 in the morning?
Yeah.
So as the day goes by, I start getting all kinds of phone calls from just random people that I don't even know, and voicemails, and the chief's adjutant and all kinds of people that want to run with us. Just, everybody. Where are you guys at? Where are you guys at? Where are you guys at? I'm like, I thought Chris said not to give out our location, but okay. So, whatever, the run's going by. We have, since the route changed, keep in mind, the route did change. We did have, when we first got there, one of the Merced fire captains, he gave me a route that was already planned out. It must have been planned out with the team before. So he's like, hey, we're just going to get you into the next county, and then that's it. Like, you're on your own after that, which I'm glad he helped us that far. Yeah. But after that, we're like, oh my God, what are we going to do after this? So I'm trying to plan a route. Mind you, we don't know. Every time I got on my phone to figure out what route we're going to do to parallel the freeway, I get another call. Hey, where are you guys at? I want to run with you guys. Hey, everyone needed something. Everyone wanted to know something. So that happened. So I had my hands full with that. Marissa was, Marissa was, she was Christina's safety officer. David was Joe's safety officer. And he was supposed to be the social media guy. However, I couldn't be I was going to drive the van. I couldn't be driving the fire vehicle, and be answering everyone's phone calls and planning a route that, these guys were supposed to take after we got into the next county. So he had to drive. So the social media got a little, I tried to jump in there and do some social media. They had their hands full. They couldn't do any social media. So we were trying to handle it between the two of us. He's trying to drive. I'm trying to, just keep everything into place. And it, like I said, that was the hardest day. Saturday was the hardest day. They were mentally exhausted. There was a lot of things. There was a lot of things going on that I know everyone didn't get to see. There's some things I'm going to talk about, some things I'm not going to talk about that I will take to my grave. It wasn't bad, don't worry, but I just, they just have their trust. I'm not going to break their trust. Yep. But
happens in the RV, stays in the RV.
Yeah, exactly. So, at some point you have to think, and I was the captain of the team, so I had to think, what, right now I need to worry about these two. I was worried about their health. I was worried about them getting there, because I would have hated it if, that day it just didn't happen anymore. If it stopped there and they didn't get to their destination. So we started thinking as a team, we need to get them there. I mean, I know you had a plan, and we were supposed to do. See, what happened that night is, I know you coordinated a barbecue with Stanislaus County with Anita Finner, who was great, by the way. She was awesome. She had her academy class come run with
that was
Joe. Awesome. She was Joe's old instructor in the academy, so that was really cool. So she had this barbecue planned out that you guys planned, which, in a perfect race, we would have been able to make it to. But also, the widow of Deputy Wallace, the meeting was supposed to be at around the same time. So at some point, we weren't going to make it to both. They were exhausted. They were, we just ended up having I ended up having to choose which one is more important. Although we did appreciate that they got a chef, and they planned out this whole barbecue with tri-tip and all kinds of good stuff. And people wanted to, don't say chicken. You gotta stop. Yeah, chicken became a curse word. They don't want to see another piece of chicken ever again. No. So, at some point, I had to decide what was more important: meeting the widow of a fallen officer, which is what we were there for, honoring families of fallen officers, or were we going to make it to a barbecue? So the decision was obvious. It was hard to tell, The
runners weren't going to eat.
Yeah, they were going to eat. They couldn't hold anything down. That was another hard thing to do at that point. They couldn't hold down just regular solid foods. So, they weren't going to eat. They were so tired. They just wanted to sleep. So, we have to make it. So we had to cancel the barbecue. That was hard. Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, we made the right choice, because I would have hated to cancel on, Deputy Wallace's, wife. So I think we made the right choice. That was hard. And, we were dealing with all that stuff. Should we cancel? Maybe just because we didn't want to let them down. It was hard. So I said, well, maybe, Danny and I can go. And there was some other people that went out there to help us. And we're like, well, maybe a few of us can go. And then Christina's mom was there. So we were like, okay, well, she can go. We can go represent them and then come back. But mind you, we have all these other things we have to do for them. We have to make sure they're hurting. We have to like take their socks off and their boots and all this stuff. Make sure they shower. Make sure they don't pass out.
Yeah.
Like, God forbid. So at the end of the day, that became our priority. So we just, it was hard. It's like calls, but hey, Joe needs peanut butter. Hey guys, you have any more peanut butter? Run to the store and get peanut butter. We need more Pedialyte. They're tired of Powerade or whatever it was. We were running around and it was hard because obviously someone had to drive and, you know, we're just moving and our stops weren't very long throughout the day. So it was hard. So we couldn't exactly stop it and talk to you guys.
Team-4 mutiny.
Is that what they called it? I feel like everyone was pissed at us, but I was like, you know what? We'll deal with it back at home. Yep. As long as Joe and Christina get to Sacramento, we'll deal with everyone back at home. So I know we upset a lot of people. We apologize, but we just have to do what was best for the runners. Yep. And we did stay off social media. So I know a lot of people were annoyed with that. But like we said, I'm sure everyone forgives us because it was all about the runners.
They made it.
Yeah. And they made it. Yeah.
Well, just to give you an idea of the and I'll get into this question later. We're planning Project Endure 2017, and what we have, what we created with a team of 4, we're not going to have at least 20 committees for. Wow. So it goes to show how much you guys had on your shoulders, how much we had on our shoulders, how much the runners had on their shoulders, and how much the outside forces didn't understand all that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And all that just, it was, there's never going to be one like this again. Hopefully this goes on forever. It can help a ton of families and stuff like that, but there's never, ever going to be one like this first one because we didn't know what we were doing. You know what I mean? So
we improvised a lot.
So I forgive you for the mutiny.
Yeah, we were up and down too. We were emotionally up and down.
Yeah,
I feel bad. I snapped.
You just snapped at?
I snapped at Marissa. I'm sorry, Marissa. I'm sure she forgives me by now. She's like, no, I don't. But yeah, it was hard. It was stressful. It was very stressful.
Well, I know we could only be there for so long, right? We offered up like 3 days each. And I know we use the word frustration a lot, but at least on my end, a lot of the frustration came from the fact that you show up, you have no idea, for example, where the peanut butter is.
Yeah.
Or wait, do we even have peanut butter? And then by the time we get the hang of it, by the time we get things going and everything's good, then the new team shows up, and then they have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, you try to relay the information. Interesting. It's tough. Yeah.
That was hard because we told them, hey, this is what you guys need to do because we felt we finally had it down.
Right.
They were happy because on Sunday went better than Saturday.
Yes.
We thought we had it, it was all good. They were happy with what we were doing. We were happy with what we were doing. We tell the team. And then on Monday, we're like looking at the Facebook Live videos. We're like, no! Don't let them do that! So I wish we would have stayed the extra day, but we just couldn't.
No. Cool. Yeah, or a couple of us worked the next day, and then just getting home.
How annoying was Chris with the emails and text messages?
That guy. Fuck.
It's okay. We just ignored his phone calls after a while.
We rebelled.
I feel bad for Stilkey. I'm sorry, Stilkey. I started ignoring him too. He's asking me all these questions, and I'm like, wait, I can't answer this question. I'm like looking for a map route, or like, wait, they need this. So I feel bad now.
Marissa, tell me about Paul Williams.
Lil Bill?
Why do they call him that?
Yeah, I guess it's one of those.
Because he's short?
Yeah.
And his name is Bill? What?
No, how he kind of seemed to be, he's just supposed to drive the RV. He kind of seemed to step up his game and help out in a lot of ways. We didn't know, people kind of, leaders kind of step out when the moments are at the worst. And he seemed to be one of those. Did that kind of happen with you guys? Okay, I guess that was a yes or no question. That's a bad question. Tell me about Paul Williams.
He was instrumental in coordinating with the agencies, the local agencies.
Yeah.
So I think having that fifth person was totally necessary because we couldn't have done it without the police escorts. It just, it wouldn't have happened. Like, I don't know what we would have done without them.
I know we weren't supposed to have police escorts, but we were lucky enough to have them throughout, just because of him, to have them throughout our whole time that we were there. So I don't know how the teams before us did it, because like she said, it would have been impossible to get to Sacramento without him.
Yeah, it was funny. I mean, he's driving the truck, and you're like, oh, he's just driving the truck. No, he was on the phone constantly, doing a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. You know, he was awesome. He is a great guy. He's one of those people that you could tell he was a great supervisor when he was on the job, because you know he handles his business, gets stuff done, doesn't talk about it, just gets it done. I would have loved to have worked under him any day.
All right, a couple more questions. Could you guys just, it's going to be kind of repetitive. I need you guys just to say what team you are, just say Project Endear, what team you are, your individual positions, what you're responsible, just in a quick sentence. And it's okay if you miss them, because I'm gonna fix that later. But just say what towns you went through and just thank those towns. And there's a lot of people you're gonna miss for sure. But
write them all.
Yeah, write them down. Write them down. Yeah.
And I'm actually gonna need this list. I'm gonna, you all gotta work on it, but I'm gonna bug the team captain, because we're gonna make a huge letter with everybody listed.
That's cool.
I'm gonna try to do it by the 28th, by the Notes of Valor, but if not, we still gotta get it out there. Anyway, so however you want to start, we're Project Endear Team-4 positions. What days of the runs you did, and what dates they were, if you guys can remember. If you can remember all that, you should.
I don't remember the towns. I remember.
So if you guys remember that,
December 2nd and 3rd, or 3rd and 4th.
I think it was 2nd and 3rd, wasn't it? Or was it 3rd and 4th?
Not sure.
If you guys could try to nutshell all that without me interrupting my voice in the middle of it, that'd be cool.
3rd and 4th. We got there the 2nd, so the run was the 3rd and 4th.
And then the towns I don't.
And then
there's still that one town that I can't pronounce. I don't know.
Stanislaus?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it took me a while.
So yeah, just say Project Endear, what team you are, and your individual positions and titles, and what towns you went through. You don't have to say the days, I guess, but just what towns you went through. And
do you want me to start since I have them written down?
Yeah, whatever.
Yes, please.
Okay. So my name is Nancy Rodriguez. I was a team captain for Team-4, and we were there. We got there Friday, December 2nd, and we left Sunday, December 4th. So we started running on Saturday, December 3rd, and we started off at Merced. So we went through Merced County, Merced City, Stanislaus County, Turlock, Ripon, Manteca, Modesto, Atwater, San Joaquin County, and Stockton. Those are the towns we went through, and everyone was amazing.
My name is Danny. I'm also a social media guru, allegedly.
Dave Schmidt. I was Joe's safety officer. Just when all the counties, the police departments, the fire departments, EMS, sheriffs, highway patrol, you all were amazing. You all helped us out immensely. You helped Joe and Christina out immensely. Thank you so much for your time, for your effort. Thank you for everything. It helped us quite a bit. Thank you.
Marissa Prowles, I was the safety officer for Christina Tudor, and thank you to everybody that helped out and was involved.
Cool. Would you guys do it again in the future?
Absolutely.
Now that you mentioned that there'd be 20 teams.
No, it's only it's committees.
Yeah, 20 committees. Yeah, I would do it again.
Yeah. Cool. Maybe one spokesman, but everybody kind of look at this camera. And then just give a last little message like, hey, from Team 4, good job. Team captain, I guess, right? And just be like, this is Team 4, you know, whatever you want to say. It was awesome. See you in the next one. Thanks for the spirit, whatever you want to say. But if everybody looks at that camera here while she's talking, that would be bad. like the straight eye contact.
Come on, get in
Wait, what are we doing?
Whatever you want. Your final message
Okay.
as Team 4.
All right. Hey guys, this is Team 4, Danny, Nancy, David, and Marissa. Thank you everyone that helped us out throughout the race. All the police departments, CHP, the county and city, police departments and sheriffs. Thank you very much. And also the civilians along the way. And just even people from our own department that showed up. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. Joe and Christina, we love you guys. And we would definitely do this with you guys any day. Bye.
Good job. You guys are good. All right. 40 minutes, not bad, huh? 40 minutes. And then the other one's going to be real easy.
Where's that bottle?
Oh, my dad is here.
Needs more.
What'd you say?
Where's that?